Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Talk and Tidbits. Thank you for joining us today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Today, we're going to be talking about why I personally chose to purchase an electric scooter and what I plan on doing with it. Today, this is my first ride out on the street with the scooter. Previously, I'd only just taken it for a test ride around my neighborhood. Today, I'm going to be taking this bike trail to the downtown area where I live, to the train station there, and just kind of riding around a little bit and seeing what I see and kind of what it's like to ride on a electric scooter. Along the way, I'll talk about why I chose to purchase a scooter. So, one thing I want to mention while we are getting started here is just as a new rider to scooters, I'm not necessarily a new rider to motorized modes of transportation. So I have rode motorcycles before. I've rode motorcycles for many years. I used to ride sports bikes. And one thing that I learned in riding sports bikes that transitions to now, electric scooter or any vehicle that's on the road is not protected by um, metal like a car, is that gear is important. So we want to make sure that if it's your first time or if you are an experienced rider on an e-scooter, you want to make sure that you have the proper gear, especially a helmet. And I would also strongly recommend gloves. For today's ride, I don't have on a jacket, which is something that I would typically wear when riding a motorcycle. But today I didn't put a jacket on. I don't necessarily know that I feel like I need one with the scooter, so that's up, your personal preference. But I do have on a helmet, I do have on gloves, and I do have on closed-toe shoes, and I have on jeans. And the reason that I picked that gear to ride in is because one, if I don't care if you're going 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, or my scooter goes up to 22 miles an hour. If something should happen to you and you're knocked off of that vehicle going 10, 15, 20 miles an hour with nothing to protect your head, your skull can take a pretty good hit on the pavement that will not be good regardless of how slow you may think that you're going. Because if you should fall off, if someone should hit you, you become airborne, you can pick up momentum, and that will not be good. So I always recommend wearing a helmet when you're participating in any sort of recreational activity on a vehicle. Also, I recommend wearing gloves because I personally have had accidents before when I wasn't wearing gloves, and even when I was or had on jeans. Let me tell you, if you don't know, road rash does not feel good and it's not something that you want to experience. So always make sure you cover as much of your skin as you possibly can, and especially your hands, because if you should have an accident or go down, the first thing you're going to do is use your hands to kind of try and brace yourself or prevent yourself from falling. So always make sure your hands are protected. I have had the palms of my hands skinned off, and again, that is not a good feeling or anything that you want to experience. So if at all you can avoid that, please be sure to do it. So that's just my little bit of information for any new riders, even any experienced riders, or anybody out there that's getting on a motorized vehicle, whether it's an e-scooter, a motorcycle, even a bike. If you're doing road biking, anything that's moving where you have potential of falling off or someone hitting you, please make sure you gear up. We've gotten the gear out of the way. Let's kind of talk about what we're seeing so far. So on this trail, this is my first time, like I said, going on this trail. We're going downtown to the train station. I just went under the little pedestrian walkway there. That was pretty cool. I didn't even know that existed, and all the time that I've lived in this area, I never knew that existed. And all the time that I've lived in this area, I've also never taken this trail that's literally steps away from my front door. So that kind of leads me into the reason that I purchased an e-scooter. Some people, as I was doing my research, a lot of people say that they purchased them for the purpose of commuting to work, which I think is great and makes a lot of sense if you live close to your job. why not commute via scooter? Like, you can save on gas. If you have to pay for parking, you can save on parking costs. If you have any traffic, you can avoid some of that traffic, and you get to have a little bit of fun on your way to and from work. So why not? It makes perfect sense. For me, however, that's not why I purchased a scooter. Um, I live about 50 minutes outside of Washington, D.C., in a town called Fredericksburg, Virginia. Not sure, if you're not familiar with that, the best way I can describe it to you is that it's about 50 minutes outside of Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. It sits right in between Richmond, Virginia, and D.C. While I live 50 minutes outside of D.C., I work very close to DC. My job is about 62 miles from my home, so I commute several days out of the week to go to work. And commuting 62 miles on a scooter, unfortunately for me, is just not feasible because I wouldn't have enough charge to get there. And it would take me a really long time to get there doing the max 22 miles per hour. So I did not purchase it for commuting. My personal reason for purchasing the scooter was for recreational, just to get out and have fun, to do things like I'm doing today, taking it downtown, experiencing this trail for the very first time, going downtown to the train station, and just riding around downtown and seeing like all the Christmas decorations are up now, so getting to experience that, and being able to take my scooter in places that I wouldn't be able to take my car necessarily. And what I mean by that is, recently I've been trying to tap back into my creative side with photography, sketching, and even journaling, right? So by having a scooter, I can take my scooter, ride downtown, ride to local coffee shops, ride to the library or other places around the area, around town, that I can just sit down and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the experience. I can sketch. If I want to sketch, I can sketch what I'm seeing. Urban sketching, I've recently gotten into that, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not an artist or by any stretch of the imagination. I cannot draw, but it's been a lot of fun just kind of experiencing that and getting to draw out what I see. So I can take my scooter and go do that. And with the scooter, I can go into places that I can't necessarily take my car. Um, I also, like today, I have my camera in my backpack. So I'm going to go down to the train station, take a couple pictures, and just hang out for a little bit. So that's another creative outlet that being on the scooter allows me. It's just to go and take some pictures, hang out. Like I said before, you can go to a coffee shop or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And those were my main reasons for buying a scooter. And I think down the road, interaction, like social interactions with others, because what I didn't realize is there are a lot of people who ride electric scooters. It's a pretty big community. And it kind of reminds me a little bit like the motorcycle community. Riding a motorcycle is really big. I met a lot of great people riding motorcycles. I never met one person I didn't like riding while I was riding a motorcycle. Everybody was very friendly, helpful. We all had something in common. So that was a lot of, fun to experience that. And I feel like riding an e-scooter will have kind of the same camaraderie and feeling with it. And also I'm trying to convince my siblings and my nephew and everybody else to get one so that we could all go riding together. It'll be a lot of fun. So that was my main reason, for purchasing a scooter, was just to have fun, just to get out. I will be sure to post some of the pictures that I took today on my ride. And yeah, if you all have any questions or comments or anything that you'd like to know, feel free to drop it down in the chat below. Thanks again for watching, and please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video.